In this tutorial I'm gonna teach you how to make a particle trail in After Effects without plugins. You can download this project file in the description down below. Making a new tutorial for each day of the year. Day 62 of 365. First we need our object here. I'm gonna use my logo and we have to create a new solid layer. Create with Ctrl Y and this will be our particles. Now to this solid layer let's add the effect CC Particle Systems 2. Okay, so we already have our particles here. The first thing we are going to do, you can see here, is start the particle animation. So let's bring this particle layer a little back in time. So it already started the animation. And now here in Producer, in the position, we can change the position of the particles. So we are going to parent this to the position of our object, in my case my logo. So press P in your object. Now double click the position in the particle effect and you can see it here, the position. You have to grab the pick whip of the position and select the position of your objects. So now you will see if I move this, it also will move the particles. If you want to move this particle in relation with your object, you have to move the layer. So if you want your particles to start from here, just move the layer of the particles there. But if we move the object like above here, you will see the particles layer, we have this cut off. So to fix that, we are going to add the effect CC Reptile to the particles layer. Now bring this above all the effects and you have to select here, instead of repeat, none. And now you just have to expand these values. So I'm gonna make 500 for each side and now it's fixed. You can move your logo wherever you want. So now I'm going to make a quick position animation for my logo. So press P, make a keyframe, move forward and move it like over here. And this is these keyframes with F9. And now we have this animation. So you can see the particle animation is a little weird. We're going to start improving this animation. Now go to the particle effect and go to physics. Here we have a explosive animation, but it's too much, so we are going to decrease that animation by decreasing the velocity. I recommend you something like, I don't know, 0.1 maybe, or even a little more if you want. And also the gravity, I feel that is too much. I'm also going to decrease the gravity here until this is, let's try 0.1 also. Okay, it's decent. I'm going to decrease the velocity too. You can see the point the particles bounce is like a little too small. So to increase that point, we have to go here to Producer and we have to increase the radius on the X axis and the Y axis. For me that's good. And I'm going to make another animation to bring my logo back, so it will go from here and to here. And I want the particles to be more reactive to the movement of my logo. So to make that, here in physics we have to increase the inherent velocity. So I recommend you a value like 50 and this will be better. You can see it there. If you think this is too much, you can decrease it. Let's try with 25. And now let's change the particles. So go here to particle and here you can select the particle you want. It could be line, could be stars. I'm gonna decrease the birth rate to have less particles because I have a lot of particles. Something like this. This is the star particle. And my favorite particles are the faded sphere. It's a simple sphere particle, pretty basic. You can also have a 3D cube as a particle, but try to decrease the birth rate because it's too dense, this particle. And you can have flat particles like this 3 polygon, the quad polygon, and so on. I'm going to use the tetrahedron maybe. I like this particle. Let me change the colors of the particle first. You can also change the scale of these particles by going here in the birth size and the death size. So if you want a particle with a constant scale, you can increase this to 1 and the death size to 1 also. It will be always in this scale, but this is too much. I'm gonna decrease it. So I'm gonna decrease the size here at the beginning. And you can also increase here the size variation. This will make some particles bigger and other smaller. I recommend you to increase that option to make it look even better. And the opacity map here is basically the opacity of the particles over time. So this fade out will make the particles to fade out when some seconds happen. I recommend you to use use this fade in and fade out. So it will start from the opacity of 0, let's say, then will increase to 100 and then to 0 again. And let's bring a better look to these particles by adding a glow effect. Let's add a glow and increase the glow radius to 50, and let's duplicate it, and now let's increase it to 200. So now we have this little glow, and here you can change the transfer mode or the blend mode of the particles. If you select, for example, add, you will have this effect of the increased brightness, and you have a cluster of particles, the brightness will go up. The last thing is that you can make these particles to last longer. For example, if I move my logo here, you will see here they start to disappear. You can increase the longevity or decrease it. If you increase it, they will last more time. If you decrease it, will last fewer time. So you can see this particle trail is a really reactive trail that follows your objects, and it have a nice customization. So you can select the particle you want, change the color, the opacity, the scale, anything. And also I'm gonna add a little motion blur. I'm also gonna enable the motion blur for the particles. So that's all for today's tutorial. Join Animation Essentials in the link in the description and become a confident animator. You can download this project file in the description down below, and I'll see you in the next video. So yeah.